Hey guys, Thrasher here, and today we're talking about type advantage and disadvantage as well as how critical damage works in the game. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of questions about how critical damage works in the game, and before you can understand how critical damage is calculated, you kind of have to understand type advantage and disadvantage. So let's go ahead and hit start battle here so we can take a look. That doesn't matter. So we can take a look at the type wheel here. So this is going to pop up. It's going to ask us who we want to use, but if you look in the top right up here, there's a type wheel. And what you'll see when you look on your device, or if you look at the screen here, is that there are arrows pointing to different colors. What that's saying is that red has type advantage over yellow, yellow has type advantage over purple, purple over green, green over blue, and blue back to red. So it's a big rock, paper, scissors game. Where it changes is black or dark has type advantage over all colors, and then white has type advantage over dark. So here we would want to use Shallot against this Raditz because he's going to get an advantage. Now what is the advantage and disadvantage? Once damage is calculated, let's assume that neutral damage would be 10,000. If you're going to do 10,000 damage, but now you have type advantage, that increases your damage by 50%. So you no longer do 10,000, you now do 15,000, because 50% more than 10,000 is 15,000. If you have type disadvantage, you will do 50% less damage. So from 10,000, you'll now only do 5,000 damage. Once type advantage and disadvantage, or if it's neutral damage, has all been calculated and your final damage is figured out, all critical damage does is increase your damage by 25% of your final value. So if you have type advantage, where before you were doing 15,000 damage, we add 25% more to that, so that's now 18,750 damage. Or if you had type disadvantage, so instead of doing 10,000 you're down to 5,000, another 25% of 5,000 is, what is that, 1,250? So now you're doing 6,250. So you don't have to do all this math in your head. All you need to realize is that if you have type disadvantage, you're only going to be doing half your normal damage. If you have type advantage, you're going to be doing 50% more. And then if you get a critical, it's going to be 25% more from whatever your final damage was. And that's all that critical does. That's why critical is not very powerful in this game, because in other games like Dokkan Battle, the way critical works is it gives you type advantage and then it gives you bonus damage. So you may have type disadvantage in Dokkan, but if you get a critical, it now calculates it like you have type advantage. It doesn't do that in this game, which is why critical is not powerful in this game. It's just a 25% damage boost from whatever you were doing prior. And that's how typing works in this game, as well as critical damage. If you guys have any questions, throw it down below, because I know this is a little mathy. And if you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.